I'm so pleased to have with me on the phone this morning Ted Nugent. How are you doing this morning, Ted?
Greetings, Gary, and happy almost springtime in the sportsman's paradise, man.
Yeah. Hey, before we go any further, let's give your show a plug. Ted Nugent, Spirit of the Wild.
Yeah, is that fun or what? Am I having a good time here or what? Yeah, thank you, everybody, for making Spirit of the Wild the #1 hunting show in the history of the world on Outdoor Channel. It's been 23 years now, Gary. How cool is that?
That is incredibly cool. Now, if you haven't seen it, you need to. It's Tuesdays at 2:30 and 7:30 p.m. and on Sundays at 11 a.m., and that is on the Outdoor Channel. Hey, you know what? I want to find out how a young urbanite from Detroit got so involved in hunting.
Well, I was raised by a dad who was already a follower of the great Fred Bear. I was born in 1948, and my dad had just got back from the incredible victory of World War II, and he was already a hunter, as almost everybody in America was at that time.
Sure.
And so in 1948, there was already this new exciting surge of bows and arrows by the great Fred Bear, who happened to be in Michigan, just north of where I lived in Detroit. And there was the Rouge River that circled down through our neighborhood. And even though it was Detroit, we had a great swamp and a marsh and a nice woodland area just loaded with wildlife. So I was spending all of my growing up time in the woods with my bow and arrow and my dad. And we'd go up north every year in October for the hunting season and actually stop at this new little shack called the Bear Archery Company. And I got to meet Fred Bear. So I think everybody born in that era had a Daisy Red Ryder BB gun and a wrist rocket slingshot and a long bow. And though my brothers and sisters and I all had those fun tools, I'm the one that stuck with it, was really fascinated by the close encounter with wildlife and learned about my stewardship responsibilities and the conservation ethics. So that was a guiding force of discipline, aim small, miss small fun in my life. And it's more intense today, Gary, at 66 than it was as a little boy.
You just took me back to my very first Stevens Savage 410.
I have a Stevens Gallery 22 break top single shot that my dad taught me to shoot woodchucks in Pennsylvania with, and that's that aim small, miss small discipline. I think that's what's missing in a lot of young people's lives today, and the more kids we can get into the shooting sports and learn about the safety and the discipline, boy, it'll give you a great quality of life, and I'm here to testify.
Absolutely. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow because we're going to be together out at Action Arms.
Yeah, Action Arms, it's a great place. I think any place that sells guns is where I belong. I really have an admiration for the families that operate these gun stores, and Joe Palermo over there in Sulphur, all the law enforcement, the military heroes that are going to be with us on Saturday. I can't wait. We're going to have a great time. Mrs. Nugent and I will be there, spend most of the day, and just celebrate the Second Amendment, celebrate Nutria Etouffee, and celebrate the great Spirit of the Wild that really is the most fun in life, I think, this side of a Ted Nugent concert.
Absolutely. You know what I wanted to do, and I'm pretty sure they put the nix on this. I wanted to challenge you to a handgun shooting competition.
I would love that because I got a Glock 10 millimeter that is the aim small, miss small sniper pistol.
Really? Maybe we can do that tomorrow if we can get all the security clearances out of the way. Now,
well, I'll tell you, and let me tell everybody listening. Obviously, you know this, Gary, but archery is an incredible discipline, an incredible source of joy and satisfaction from dedicating yourself to the procedure of the mystical flight of the arrow. But that handgun hunting, that's really a challenge. It's very difficult to become an expert with a handgun. It takes a lot of time. You got to fire thousands and thousands of rounds and become one with your handgun. So it's a great sport. It's a great discipline. Of course, in this day and age, and the war on terror going crazy thanks to our failing government out there, it's going to be up to us individuals to defend ourselves. And I recommend that everybody takes advantage of that keep and bear arms not being infringed thing going on.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. We only have a minute. I wanted to ask you about something. Now, everybody knows Ted Nugent, the guitarist, the musician, and stuff like that. Does the name the Royal High Boys mean anything to you?
Well, of course. 1958, Detroit, man. Royal High Boys playing at every sock hop and every fraternity and sorority party, every pool party. And then the Royal High Boys in 1960 changed our names to the Lourdes, and we won the Michigan Battle of the Bands and actually opened up the brand new Cobo Hall for the Supremes and the Bo Brummels. So I've been at this a long time.
Oh, man. Now, did you have to do all the garage band stuff? Did you play Gloria and...
Absolutely. In fact, we were way before Gloria. We were playing Perfidia and Walk Don't Run and Little Richard and Jerry Lee Lewis songs and Bo Diddley and Chuck Berry. And that stuff to this very day, when I get on stage, I had the greatest tour of my life. Brand new record, Shut Up and Jam.
Yes.
And I got the greatest musicians that we actually think that we're the children of Chuck Berry every night when we get on stage. So the music has so much energy and piss and vinegar and spirit and attitude. Every concert is the most exciting 2 hours of my life, man.
Oh, you can't beat it. You know, you're in a great position to do the hunting you want to do and yet still play the music you love.
Yeah, you know, summer is rock and roll season and fall and winter is hunting season. I got that figured out as a young boy.
You got all the bases covered. Well, Ted, I look forward to actually meeting you in person tomorrow, and if we can pull off this handgun competition, let's do it.
I would like to do that, and thanks for the opportunity, Gary, because what we're doing at Action Arms with Joe and everybody, and what we're doing right here is we're promoting the great sport of hunting, the great right of keeping and bear arms, the Second Amendment, and how the whole world doesn't know what we're talking about because you can only do this in America, and I want to thank you for being able to talk about it on your radio show.
Absolutely. Anytime, my friend, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Godspeed.